Hello guys, my name is Matthew from GetRecurveBow.com, and I've been getting a lot of questions about how to store your recurve bow properly in order to maintain the limbs, maintain the string, and ensure that you can use your bow for as long as possible. So I'm going to go over some common things, some do's, some don'ts for storing your recurve bow, especially if you need to store it over long periods of time or you need to travel with your recurve bow. So here's the best way to keep your recurve bow in the best shape as possible for as long as possible. Now, the first and most common question I get is whether or not you should string and unstring your recurve bow if you're not using it. They ask me like, hey, I'm not going to be using my recurve bow for a month or 2 months, 4 months. Should I take the string off? The answer to that is simple. If you have a modern recurve bow like this Samick Sage over here, these recurve bows come with fiberglass limbs. Fiberglass limbs, they're tough. You do not need to worry about them unless you're gonna be not using your recurve bow for a year or more, I'd say. But these limbs are tough. Ever since I purchased this Samick Sage, I've never unstrung it, and it's been 8 months maybe. I've never taken the string off. So as long as you have a modern bow, by modern I mean a bow that was made recently, not one that's like a classic or one that's just wood, one of the older designs. Most bows you'll be fine keeping it strung. Now, what is the best way to store a recurve bow? Hands down, the best way to store a recurve bow is in a recurve bow case. Why? Recurve bow cases, they help protect against moisture, they'll also help protect against temperature. They have padding all around, so you don't have to worry about the bow hitting anything. In case of an unfortunate case of an earthquake or it falls or anything like that, it's protected through padding and that sort of thing. So that's the best way to do it. You're gonna have to spend some money getting a Recurve Bow Case. I actually have a link in the description for an article I have on GetRecurveBow.com that goes over the best recurve bows available today. You can choose one of those and see what you think, see what's out there. Now, the second best way to store your recurve bow would be on a wall mount. You can buy a wall mount or you can make one yourself, but it hangs it on the wall in a way where it supports the bow in areas that's not critical, so like right around there typically, and it holds the bow up for long periods of time. You don't need to worry about it unless you have earthquakes or that sort of thing. You might be worried about it falling. But yeah, the wall mounts are great. There's also bow stands where it's on the floor like a stand and you can hang them. You can even hang multiple bows if you have multiple bows. Those are also great ways to store recurve bows. So far, we have a bow case, which is the best way to do it. We also have a wall mount, which is great, supports it at an area that's not going to harm it over time. And you also have bow stands that are coming up from the ground that you can put them on. I'll also have a link in the description that goes over the best wall mounts for recurve bows and the best stands for recurve bows if you prefer to do that rather than put them up on the wall. Now, what are the big no-nos for storing a recurve bow? Now, in reality, there are two big things that can affect a recurve bow over a long period of time. The first is moisture. At the end of the day, fiberglass or not, these are wooden limbs. So if you get moisture on these, combine that with temperature changes, I've actually seen bows where the limbs have started to get softer than where they were at the beginning. So you want to limit moisture and you want to limit temperature extremes. Really hot, really cold temperatures. So a bad place to hold a recurve bow would be in your garage, especially if you live in an area that gets hot, gets cold. If this bow, for example, I'm here in Ohio, during the winters, it could get pretty cold out here. I don't want to leave my recurve bow in my basement. It also gets humid here sometimes. So that's moisture, temperature. You want to keep the recurve bow in a place that's temperature controlled and that's also far from moisture. Another thing that I've seen a lot of people do with the recurve bow that's not good is that they'll lean the recurve bow up on a wall and put it and balance it on the corner and lean it up against the wall. You do not want to stand a recurve bow up on the tip. It's an easy way to affect your accuracy. If you do it for long enough, you'll see changes in the accuracy of the bow. You want a way that's going to have minimal strain on the limbs, because although this is a small strain, over a long period of time, it will have an effect on the limb. So that's why wall mounts support the limbs from here. Minimum tension to the limbs. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for a recurve bow case or a wall mount or a recurve bow stand, please check the link in the description. I review some of these on my website, getrecurvebow.com. Since I have a bunch of them, I go through them, I pick my favorites, and then I write a review about which ones are the best. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please subscribe. I'm waiting for hunting season to go out and record some hunting videos with this Samick Sage. If you're interested in the Samick Sage, I actually have a video. I think you'll find it up there, I believe up there, about I go over the details of the Samick Sage, what's good about it, what are some potential improvements. So like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.